Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Friday the 8th of October. I'm going to use the Crow Tarot for today's reading. Let's see what these cards have to say about Friday and what the day is going to look like. So let's see what the tarot cards want to say. First card is the Two of Swords. Okay, that reminds me of the Mercury retrograde that we're still enjoying. The Queen of Pentacles, lovely. And Temperance. Okay. I'm getting a message that you really find a new acceptance and understanding around your own body and your appearance. So if there's something that you struggle with, it's always going to be a question, do I accept this? Because if it does come up as a theme, it's something that obviously you don't celebrate and love and adore. So either do you accept it or do you change it? And here I think you get a really new insight and an understanding that this isn't just something to accept, it's actually part of who you are and it makes you unique. So that's interesting. The Two of Swords is a card that talks about hope and defensiveness and not having clear insight. This poor little crow has a blindfold on. That looks so cute. So the blindfold represents not having real spiritual insight and feeling disconnected. And then also the swords represent a lack of clarity when it comes to communication and ideas. I thought it was really interesting that WhatsApp and Facebook and Instagram went down the other day for a few hours during the Mercury retrograde. I thought that was very telling. So the Two of Swords, most of us, when we don't understand what's going on or when communication is difficult and we don't see the bigger picture, most of us clam up a little bit because it's like, ooh, I feel threatened here. I don't have the bigger picture. I don't know what's going on. And all of these things are coming at me. So the swords, I mentioned this the other day, obviously are weapons. And the communication that comes in may feel a little bit daunting. And you may feel like you're out in the wilderness by yourself. You're meant to understand everything, or there's an expectation that you have to figure everything out. And it may feel overwhelming. So look at the size of these swords and this poor little crow here with the blindfold on. So not only does this seem really intimidating, but it seems overwhelming in the sense that these problems and all this info is much bigger than me. So if you've got a lot of paperwork to do, if you've got a ton of work to kind of deal with, if there are relatives or friends or partners who are kind of blaming you for things or yelling at you for some sort of perceived slight or something you've done wrong, just be aware that on this day you may feel a little bit oppressed by all of that. It may seem like a bit much. So support yourself through that. Make sure that you don't add to the difficulty or the blame by saying, oh, why can't I deal with this? I should be able to handle what comes my way. Be nice to yourself, support yourself. And if you do feel like you're out in the wilderness, then it's important to take the pressure off, not to add to it by telling yourself a story like, why did you get yourself into this situation, and going into self-blame mode. So usually the Two of Swords is a woman who's blindfolded and who's got her arms folded across her chest. The thing about the card is that if you try and use your intuition and your psychic ability, if you look at your experience, how you've handled things in the past, and you go with your gut, basically, you do what feels right for you, and you keep engaging with this without reacting, then it's likely that the situation will be resolved. You will find understanding the more you connect with it. And then these swords kind of go away. So this card isn't saying that everything feels daunting. So just, go hide in the mountain there somewhere and stick your head in the sand and just wait for it to pass. The message is, please do engage and don't be defensive and try and understand what's going on. It will make sense as you go through things. We've got the number 2 there. That's relationship in numerology and cooperation and connection with other people. So it's important to face the music and to face what's coming your way and not to run off and to try and escape. And also the 2 here, depicted as the Roman numeral 2, is a doorway. So sooner or later you'll find a way through, the light will shine, the bandage will come off, and you'll see things in a way that makes sense. And what the card is saying, you'll get a deeper understanding of the situation. So don't be put off by things that may be complex or difficult to kind of suss out. You have an opportunity to learn something here. Learn about the actual subject at hand. You have the ability to learn about yourself and really how strong you are, and that you can do things independently, even if you feel like you're on an island by yourself. So it's a great opportunity to build hope and to understand that there is something in you that is really your biggest asset in life, and it kind of becomes apparent. So it's this internal balance via the Temperance card, but also understanding and clarity about you as an individual emerges, and you get to know yourself better. The Queen of Pentacles is a beautiful card surrounded by beautiful things, abundance, prosperity, love, everything gorgeous. We've got all these flowers, we've got a butterfly, apples. And the crow is standing on a stone throne. So this is a position that the Queen of Pentacles has held for a long time. Pentacles has to do with earth and everything earthy that you engage with. And earthy things are your career and the way you pay your bills and the way you structure your day, your body, your appearance, the way other people appear to you in life. And you're able to see something beautiful and charming in yourself and in other people. We've got a moon here, which kind of looks like a meteor, which is interesting because something hits via the Two of Swords. So it may be news that is unwelcome or information that makes you feel small and like you're being cornered. But even with that, you're able to transform it via the butterfly and see the beauty of the meteor flying around. And it's that capacity in yourself to look at the silver lining and to see the beautiful stuff in every situation that's really the key to the day. Because when you have that insight to say, well, everyone else may think this is a giant problem and will want to run off and not deal with it, I see something amazing in here. So there isn't going to be a lot of competition. You have control of your physical circumstances because you see the hidden treasure in it. And when you see that, you can actually mine it and make it work to your advantage. So apples are a symbol of abundance and an abundance of love for your circumstances, for yourself. These flowers here, they kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, but they look like arum lilies to me. Red is about passion. We've got this pink flower here. So a strength, a sense of spiritual strength. I can get through whatever comes my way. And I can take whatever is happening and I can tweak it and redesign it to make it fabulous. So it's the best card really that you can get after the Two of Swords because it's very much the opposite. Something that doesn't make sense and makes you feel put upon is then a creative inspiration. So we've got the crow, and what I'm being prompted to say now is all this black is something that allows you to absorb negativity, so you're protected. It's funny, but I love to read symbols, as you guys know. But when I when I have a day where I feel like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to have some difficult conversations or something, sometimes I wear a black t-shirt deliberately because it makes me feel like I'll be able to absorb the negativity and it doesn't touch me. So you are protected. You have managed your circumstances for a long time. The stone throne is really an indicator that you're solid, okay? You're in a good place. You can trust your own insights and your own ability to take charge of things and to tweak them around. We've got this little bunny rabbit there. So a symbol of innocence and purity and childhood and joy and seeing the best in a situation. And that's really the gift of the day, that because beauty is in the eye of the beholder, you see? So because you're able to see the beauty in something, you can turn it around and make it work in your favor. And then finally, temperance is emotional balance. And that kind of reminds me of yesterday's reading where you really learn to be there for yourself and that the things going on internally are the most important. So this balance allows you to get rid of the toxic, negative stuff, to focus on the fun, pretty, beautiful things inside of you. And it really lifts you up to reach out to something bigger and purer and some sort of ideal. So this is aspirational, and the amazing thing is that you're not stumped by anything. You really see the best possible outcome in it, and then you have the practical know-how and presence of mind to actually take the action steps to turn something around. So you're really a magical designer today. You're a spiritual decorator. Because you have this strength internally and you have this beautiful vision of your life and the world, you can turn things around greatly. And that's and I mentioned this in the weekly horoscope, that's really the gift and the beauty of Mercury retrograde, that even though sometimes the internet goes down and things are difficult, you get to see things completely in a new way. So I mentioned at the beginning of this reading that you understand something about yourself that may have been problematic, and you see it for what it really is, or you see the beauty inherent in that, and you're able to accept yourself more profoundly and more wholly. I mean that as in WHOLLY, not holy as in a holy person. So we all want to accept ourselves, right? And particularly in our bodies, there are things we all have going on that we dislike and that we want to do something about. But I don't know about you, when I apply that to myself, it's not a consistent way of seeing myself. Like, for instance, let's see, like my weak points in my body is I have skinny arms and kind of skinny legs. They're not particularly muscled, right? And some days I'll be like, okay, you got to go to the gym and you got to start exercising and do something about this if you don't like it. And then other days I'm okay with it. I'm just like, okay, well, this is what you look like. And it's like there's no rhyme or reason to it other than the outcome is that the days where I'm okay with it, I beat myself up less, and I guess I'm less motivated to go to the gym because I think I'm fine. But and the days where I'm like, oh, you've really got to do something, this is unacceptable, then I feel uncomfortable in my own skin, and then I'm prompted to do something about it. So you could argue that both states are just as good as the other, because one prompts you to act and the other one just gives you kind of peace of mind and you're able to chill and not obsess. And with this Temperance card, you see the beauty in something that you've always found abominable about yourself, and particularly about your life, your circumstances, relationships. You're able to see those differently. The blindfold actually prompts you to form a different opinion. And that's really good, because if you see the beauty in any situation, in your work, in your relationship, in your physical appearance, in anything going on in your life, then you can be much more at peace. So I guess this isn't the best day for you to go to the gym because you're not going to feel particularly tortured about your own existence here on this planet. You've got much more acceptance going on for yourself. And in my experience, when you have acceptance and there's a sense of, oh, everything's okay, then you can take action which really reflect that and which contain that harmony and that acceptance of life. So if you are a creative person, please do create on this day, whether you paint or do flower arranging or designing. But also, if you want to redesign your work or anything to do with your physical experience on this planet, your career, your daily routine, anything like that, you see the abundance already in there, and you can see how you can expand that and make it bigger and make your life much sweeter and richer. Usually with the Temperance card, there's an angel kind of pouring these two cups and detoxing the negative stuff, and it opens a path that leads to a place of enlightenment. And here it's not enlightenment in terms of, spiritual experience. It's getting to a place where you can appreciate the beauty of the daffodils. And you're like, wow, look at that yellow, it's gorgeous. Whereas other days you may be driving along and just think, God, these flowers are just horrendous. I hate daffodils. So you have the capacity to see the beauty in things that at other times you may not appreciate. And that's a real gift that you receive here today. 2 and a court card, which counts as 1, is 3. And what's this? 14 and 3 is 17. 1 and 7 is 8. And 8 is power. So there's real strength in this beautiful perspective. Don't think it's trivial or nothing. It's really everything. If you see the gorgeousness in something, then you can embrace it and make more of it happen in your life. So it's a really good thing. I hope you have a fabulous day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to order your reading with me. I use the tarot, astrology, numerology, and my intuition in my personal readings. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe to join us on this channel, and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.